What's up, my comic comrades? We're currently 4 issues into the Batman Superman World's Finest title, and DC just did something pretty nuts. And before we go any further, I will say that this episode is going to spoil the crap out of the whole story to this point, so you've been warned. With that out of the way, issue 4 of the title, Batman and Superman somehow fused or merged together while wielding the power of a Green Lantern ring, effectively becoming a Batman-Superman Green Lantern hybrid. The design and look of this hybrid super being is pretty dope and something I never imagined we'd see, but we're about to find out how on earth this happened, so roll the bumper. I do want to start off by saying the Batman Superman World's Finest title has been really fun so far, so if you haven't already, you should be adding it to your weekly pull list. Especially if you're a fan of Batman Superman team-ups like I am. Anyway, let's jump in. Issue 1 starts off with us seeing Poison Ivy terrorizing Metropolis, and she's quickly apprehended by Batman and Robin while Superman saves a child. When they meet up on a rooftop, we see that Poison Ivy wasn't working alone. Metallo, the man with a kryptonite heart, arrives to take out Superman. Poison Ivy throws Robin off the roof to distract Batman while Metallo proceeds to pull out a syringe filled with a cocktail of radioactive red kryptonite and jabs the syringe into Superman's heart. Batman and Robin launch back to the roof, and Robin slams his staff into Metallo's chest, shattering his kryptonite heart. They run to check on Superman as he starts screaming in pain, and we see 2 mysterious demonic-looking silhouettes watching from a rooftop afar, saying, "Now the fun begins." They have no idea what's in store. The comic then takes us back to Gotham City years before the attack, when Superman helped Batman and Robin take down the Penguin who was selling firearms in Metropolis. It's an awesome flashback sequence that lasts the next several pages, showing us one of Batman and Superman's first team-ups and the start of what would become known as World's Finest. Back in the present, we see Superman's body still going crazy from the red kryptonite, and when Lois runs up to ask what's going on, Robin responds, "Bits of red kryptonite." Batman says the stuff puts Superman through random transmutations. Sometimes they're agonizing, and while each piece has a specific effect, this was a cocktail blend. With none of them knowing how to get the red kryptonite out of his veins, Superman panics and flies off as the red kryptonite is causing him to hallucinate, with him thinking the people around him are his enemies, and Batman has Robin and Jimmy follow while he calls someone who might help. After a couple of pages, Superman ends up turning into a metal statue, and the backup that Batman called arrives, the Doom Patrol. He tells Robin, "You called it, there's a doctor, Niles Calder, who specializes in bizarre transformations." These are some of his patients. Rita Farr then picks up Superman when he suddenly turns gold, and he starts hallucinating thinking she's General Zod. Superman imagines the rest of them as some of his other typical villains, even thinking Batman is Lex Luthor as Batman tried to talk him down. But as Superman grabs him by the throat, Batman says, "Does Luthor know your real name?" "No, but Bruce Wayne does. I'm one of the few people who you've trusted with that secret, Clark. I need you to trust me again." This breaks Superman out of his confusion, but then his eyes start to burn and he starts vibrating at super speed. So Negative Man flies in and starts to emulate the radiation of a red sun to calm Superman down. With Superman effectively sedated, Batman and Robin bring him to the Calder mansion so the Doom Patrol can hopefully cure their friend. That brings us to issue 2, which starts out with Dr. Calder using kryptonite tools to do surgery on Superman's heart and remove the red kryptonite particles. But he realizes it's in his entire bloodstream, not just his heart. He calls Negative Man down and tells him a full transfusion is too slow, and I don't have the equipment to filter blood. That leaves Negative Man. There's a chance his radiation can alter that of the K particles into something harmless. So Negative Man gets to work going into Superman's bloodstream, but his powers only last for a minute at a time, so he has to hurry. After a few flashbacks from the worried Batman, Superman eventually pulls through. Calder then shows Batman, Superman, and Robin a sword his Doom Patrol had taken from a man named Zal. The sword had originally belonged to a man named Neza, son of China's most powerful warlord, Li Jing. Long story short, Neza died in battle, and his father ends up using every last bit of his fortune searching for a way to bring his son back. He ultimately ends up working for a magician who makes him an elixir that brought his son back and gave him eternal life. But Neza was furious with his father, saying, "We commanded the world, now you whimper and cower, obedient to others. We had untold riches, now we are paupers. All I ever wished for was your respect. Now I see how worthless it is," as he decapitates his father, saying, "May I never be like you." Well, that's one way to say thank you for bringing me back to life. Anyway, after killing his father, Neza spent the following decades regaining his power and fortune and became known as the Devil Neza. The only thing that stopped him from world conquest was a team of magical warriors that somehow imprisoned him. Dr. Calder suspects that Neza is really behind Poison Ivy and Metallo's attack, along with manipulating other villains to attack other heroes like the Flash and Wonder Woman. So Batman and Superman send Supergirl and Robin on a time travel mission to find the magical warriors who imprisoned Neza all those years ago to figure out how to stop him now. While Supergirl and Robin travel back to China in 1579 BC, Superman and Batman go to stop Felix Faust, one of the manipulated villains attacking Billy Batson, who we all know is Shazam. For the sake of time, to summarize issue 3, Batman and Superman save Billy and go to help more heroes and battle more Neza Neza-powered villains. The Doom Patrol investigates Neza's tomb, and the magical warriors in the past, called the Warriors of G, violently introduce themselves to Supergirl and Robin until Robin is able to explain that they need their help. Issue 3 then ends with the Green Lantern attacking Batman and Superman, having been possessed by Neza, and Batman not understanding how Neza knows so much about today's heroes and villains when he's been locked away all this time. So Batman radioed Alfred to check if anyone's accessed his files on the Justice League, and it's revealed that Neza infiltrated the Batcave and possessed Alfred, using him for information. Plus, we see a dope Keaton Batmobile in the background of the Batcave. And that leads us to issue 4 and the meat of the story. But while we're talking about Superman, we also want to tell you guys about a dope new collectible from NZ Mint. They've partnered with Warner Brothers Consumer Products to create this amazing Action Comics 1 cover replica engraved onto a 1-ounce pure silver coin. This is the first release in their new comics line of collectible silver coins, and honestly, there's no better way to kick it off than with the most valuable comic book of all time. This issue is well known as the first appearance of Superman, so putting the Man of Steel's debut on a silver coin feels incredibly fitting. And the detail on this thing is actually shocking when you see it up close. The silver is crafted into a rectangular coin to mimic the shape of an actual comic, and includes further colorization on the 4 sides to represent the spine and pages. But to give it some extra bling, small flashes of silver have been left on the cover to catch the light. Each coin also comes in a very cool custom designed box with a window on the front, so it looks great on display. The silver coin is also minted as legal tender, so the back of the coin bears the Ian Rank Broadley effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, and a certificate of authenticity is printed on the box along with the coin's unique serial number. They've only minted 5,000 of these bad boys, so don't miss your chance to grab one for your collection. Just head over to nzmint.com/variant or click the link in the description below to check it out for yourself. And then use coupon code VARIANT5 at checkout to save 5% on your order. We really think you'll dig this. Now diving into issue 4, at the start of the issue we see Hal Jordan Green Lantern being controlled by Neza, having trapped Superman and Batman inside of a Construct jail cell. Superman says he can't break the bars when Hal sends a Construct razor disc through the cell that cuts Superman. Batman says, "I don't understand. Lantern's ring is primarily an energy construct. The only way it could be affecting Superman this easily is if it were augmented by magic." When he's suddenly put in a chokehold by Neza himself, holding Batman by his throat, Neza explains how he escaped by creating his own spell, rune by rune, and says, "Soon every kingdom on the planet will be mine to control. All humanity will be my indomitable army." Batman asks, "To fight whom? Who else is there? Unless there's some enemy beyond. Isn't there? One that worries you. That's why you're rushing to take all the powered heroes off the board. You're afraid they're going to beat you as roundly as the Warriors of G did." Neza throws Batman, annoyed. Meanwhile, Superman is still losing to a magical infused Hal Jordan. Batman jumps in and opens a shield from Alchemist's Philosopher's Stone, and the two start trying to figure out how to get away from Hal. Going back to H in China, the Warriors of G tell Supergirl and Robin how to imprison Neza, and they make their way back to the present. But on the way back, they get hit by a time storm from someone trying to change history, and Supergirl loses her grip, dropping Robin into the time stream. Then back in the present, Batman starts telling Superman, willpower. That's what controls Lantern's ring, even from a short distance. His willpower, the strongest on Earth. Superman then says, "But how much do you think it's compromised in a consciousness under someone else's control?" And Batman replies, "Exactly, still more powerful than yours or mine, but maybe not yours and mine. Concentrate, focus on the ring with all your might. Draw it off his finger, will it here." We see Hal's grip then start to slip, and Batman screams, "Keep pushing, one thought between us." The ring then flies off Hal's hand and toward Batman and Superman. And the next page gives us a full page shot of Batman and Superman fused together, all Goku Vegeta style, now wielding Hal Jordan's Green Lantern ring. And this fused transformation looks pretty damn cool. Now with Hal Jordan unconscious, Neza says, "I see I chose my champion poorly. No matter, it won't happen again. I have work to do." As we see, he also has control of Martian Manhunter, Black Canary, Kid Flash, Firestorm, Red Tornado, and Wonder Girl. They all rush to fuse Batman and Superman as Superman asks Batman, "What happened? Ambient magic? Thinking as one? Some of both?" Batman responds, "Use your imagination," as we see them throw Green Lantern Construct batarangs at the group on the left. And over the next couple pages, the fused Batman and Superman solo all the attacking heroes. It's pretty epic. Once the possessed heroes are incapacitated, they go after Neza, flying him into space as Jordan's Green Lantern ring is running out of power, then firing him back down to Earth and towards the tomb he was imprisoned in. The ring runs out of power and they end up defusing before hitting the ground. But then Supergirl flies in from the past and gives Neza one last punch towards his prison. Supergirl then looks at Clark and Bruce saying, "The Warriors of G confirmed that the tomb alone can hold Neza, that the door can be permanently shut by one of us." And to end the issue, she reveals the tomb can be sealed, but only from the inside. And that, my friends, wraps up our summary of the first 4 issues of Batman Superman World's Finest. It's been a really solid, fun read thus far. I mean, come on, how awesome was it to see Batman and Superman fused together with the power of a Green Lantern ring? I thought that was really unique, and it was all around awesome to see how overpowered they were. It would be pretty cool to see something like that again in the future, hopefully for longer than just a few pages if it does. Anyway, we're digging this series so far, but let us know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. First up for the week of July 13th, we have King Spawn issue 12. This is it, the final confrontation between Spawn and Black Azrael. Will Spawn take the crown or doom the world instead? Here we have Daredevil issue 1. After the rain comes the dawn. In the wake of Wilson Fisk's violent last act, it's a new era for New York and the man without fear. Matt Murdock has no choice but to leave behind everything he's ever known, and Elektra is the last vestige of his former life. Next up, we have Batman Urban Legends issue 17. A blockbuster issue, Batman teams up with The Flash, Aquaman, Black Adam in 3 spectacular stories in this special issue of Batman Urban Legends, celebrating the Dark Knight's monumental year on the silver screen. Now we have Dark Crisis Worlds Without a Justice League Superman 1. When Pariah and his forces of the Great Darkness laid waste to the most powerful superheroes of all time, all hope was lost. With the Man of Steel suffering the same fate as his comrades, he finds himself in a world of dreams he would have never thought possible while alive. And finally, we have Star Wars The Mandalorian issue 1. For the first time, The Mandalorian arrives in comics. This is an 8-issue miniseries that's adapting the first season of Mando in comics form, and I'm so down being a massive Mando fan. And that's gonna bring today's episode to a close, but if you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out this one right here. And if you like all of our content, like, subscribe, and comment. It always helps us out. But other than that, I'll see you guys next time when I talk about all things comics.